Hi guys, I don't know what the day is. Oh, happy Thursday guys. I am so off, it's been wild. Readings will, when I will email each of you individually to let you know what is going on, because a lot is going on, so half of you know what is going on, so, yeah, it's not good. I'm okay, just my mom. So, okay, we are going to go right back into Robert Cochrane and what a tangled web he, weaved. He weaved. Pretty messed up. So, alright, now in his article, picking back up from yesterday, Cochrane attacked the bigotry and dogma he said existed in some modern covens, and criticized witches for turning their backs on the outside world, following rituals and beliefs, parrot fashion, that had no relevance to modern times. And I think Robert Cochrane was trying to modernize traditional craft. It's not how you do it. It shouldn't be modernized. I mean, some aspects, of course, but not the core beliefs and practices. Just leave it alone, dude. So he concluded that the old craft still had a role in the present age, because within its teachings and beliefs were the seeds of the old pre-Christian mystery cults. We don't know for sure, though. However, Cochrane added that it needed to undergo some radical and violent changes if it was to survive in the future. You don't do that. No. Okay, so in his view, modern traditional witches could not retreat from the world. There was no place in society for them if they had nothing valid to enter or offer it, and refused to participate in its social revolution. Now, if they did not, then the craft will gasp its last breath under the heap of a musty nonsense, half-baked theology and philosophy. So yeah, he was a crockpot. So this was fighting talk, and was not appreciated by everyone who read it. Cochrane was presenting himself as a radical modernizer and a reformer attempting to bring the craft up to date. Yeah, failed big time. This role is reflected in comments later he made in a letter to the Oxfordshire cunning man Norman Gills. Cochrane says, "I'm trying to bring up what I know of the craft and apply it to the way of thought today. To this, I would have to read tremendous amounts about the old pagans and see what fitted and what didn't, and shape the religion as it was originally." No, that's not how it works. He's redoing everything. He doesn't know a thing. He has to go back and find out what the old pagans did. Why? Because he didn't know. He had no knowledge of the craft. He goes on to say that he had to change some of the old legends, and he acknowledged that altering the old ways is, by craft standards, quite terrible, and yes, it is. So he really did. I mean, he didn't do any good, from what I'm reading. Well, in this question, he is admitting that he is reconstructing the old forms of witchcraft, and in the process has modified them. Yet this modification is based on earlier forms, and in the same letter, Cochrane claimed that the old craft is nearly dead. No, it's not, with just one or two small clans surviving, unquote. Yeah, he's wrong. His chosen role as a modernizing influence left one correspondent to Pentagram to describe Cochrane as Keir Hardy of the craft, and this was a reference to a famous Labour politician who was renowned for his radicalism and reforming ways. Greville Lindop has described Cochrane as an angry young man, comparing him with the trend created in the 1950s by the playwright John Osborne and Harold Pinter. Evan John Jones also told this writer that Cochrane was a socialist in his political outlook and a bit of an anarchist, who had written articles for the left-wing magazine New Statesman. Okay, so it just started to hail. So this second article, penned by Cochrane for Pentagram, was called "The Faith of the Wise," and he actually penned that coin phrase, and it was published in the August of 1965 issue. So this time he was described by John Mapp as our controversial contributor who can trace his witch connections back to 1734. And if you guys know that 1734 was not a date at all. So, in fact, 1734 was not a date. But as Cochrane explained in one of his letters to his correspondents, a code word for the witch goddess in his tradition. What tradition? What did he? Yeah, I don't like where he took this. So this article itself dismissed the common conception of witchcraft as the survival of a pre-Christian fertility cult religion practiced by simple peasants. Instead, he claimed it was concerned with truth, total truth, and through its practice, the seeker can offer devotion to the gods and in return receive knowledge. That is true. I think that's about the only thing true that he has said. So he stated that the craft was belief concerned with the inner nature of devotion and the nature of mysticism and mystical experience. So it was a complex philosophy that dealt with the nature of truth, experience, and devotion. Now Cochrane told his readers that there were several forms of devotion to the faith. So this is where the poetic vision, in which case is made to images and symbols in dreams, the vision of memory, whereby past lives are remembered, and also a past state of perfection, magical vision, by which the participant contacts certain levels, religious vision, during which the worshipper experiences, albeit briefly, the Godhead, and family, mystical vision, the ultimate aim of initiation, and the spiritual or magical path, divine union with the Godhead. So divine union with the Godhead is what traditional craft is all about. That's what almost every faith is about. So, but I mean, this guy is still a crock. But anyway, he is part of the witch history. So he concluded that it was impossible for anyone to enter the craft unless they could demonstrate a far memory of past lives, presumably within the circle, or as a twice-born or initiate in a genuine mystical drive. Wrong. Completely wrong. That's sad. Doesn't it make you want to cry? That's sad. Finally, he declared that the craft was the true faith that exists beyond space-time and all human matters. Yeah, I kind of understand that. I kind of believe that, in a way. Now, in his article, Cochrane had presented a vision of witchcraft that was in direct contrast to modern Wicca, which I like, and far more sophisticated in its beliefs and philosophy. Traditional craft is get things done now. That is what traditional craft is. So, I mean, literally that is what traditional craft is all about. Getting things done now. Yes, you guys all know that when we went through Jim McGarry's books. So now, in fact, Cochrane considered Gerald Gardner to be a fake who created his own version of witchcraft to cater to his own degenerate sexual habits, and that I do agree with. Big time. We all know that. So in an unpublished letter to a correspondent who was a young male Wiccan and a cult magazine editor, Cochrane said, quote, "They are all wrong, all bloody wrong. I have no intention of telling you what things mean, what and how, what why, and why. But just for the record, I couldn't care less what Miss Sybil Leek, whom God preserve, and whom I sent up once, Pat Crowther, Bill Gray, Uncle Gardner, and Charles Cardell, Mrs. Bone, Mr. Ian McKay, Mrs. Monique Wilson, and Uncle Tom Kubley, I think, and all say and have taught you all the secrets of their art. Your answers are all bloody wrong." So yeah, he was just the one that thought everything that he did was right. A narcissistic, classical, typical narcissistic person. So, yeah, alright, we're gonna stop there with where he was, yeah, everything is bloody wrong. So, I have to write all this down. I have to really write all this down. So hold, please. I am running out of room on my napkins. I think a notebook might be a little better. Okay. Wait a minute. I think I can fit one more word on this tiny napkin. Yes, I can, and I did. There we go. So, we will come back to this tomorrow. So, it's just really interesting stuff. I mean, this man is just so strange. I mean, really strange. So, but alright guys, I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you guys have a good weekend. Happy full moon. It's the 1st of October finally, and yeah, we have Samhain coming up, so I'm very excited and very happy. So, I hope you guys have a great day. I love you all very much. Click the bell down there so you get notifications when I go live for the live readings, and click subscribe. So I love you all from Venus all the way back down. I'm flashing, so anyways, I love you all very much, and thanks for watching, guys.